Hey y'all, I'm back. This is a continuation of my message to a friend. It's still July 21st, 2015. It's about 8:54 in the PM here in San Antonio, Texas, the world capital of diabetes, I might add. All right. In the previous video, I alluded to the fact that there are certain people, and I might I dare suggest that it's the majority of people who are so completely just afraid, terrified, they're petrified of the truth that they will run from the truth, that they're literally, I mean, if the truth is in a room, they'll walk out of the room and not give a reason why they're walking out. They'll just walk out. They'll not hear. They'll speak over it. They'll just run, scream, hide, and quiver at the idea of the truth because they hate the truth so much. And you got to wonder, well, what's behind that? Why exactly do they hate the truth so much? And there's lots of reasons. There's lots of reasons for it, but I might have to get to that in another video. I want to give you an example of how strong this is because I feel like you might hear some of the stuff that I have to say, and regardless, we're individuals here. I have nothing to gain from what I'm telling you. All right, so you should know already in your heart that basically the only thing I'm trying to do here is help you because you asked for help. All right. So I want to explain to you, you're not gonna do everything that I'm saying or suggesting. I don't expect you to. Thing is, I'm just gonna throw all sorts of things at you so you begin to absorb what it is I'm talking about. There's not an easy way to solve the problem that has arisen. It's pretty complicated, so it's going to take a lot of different facets. That's why there's going to be a lot of different videos. All right. Let me throw an example at you. Like I alluded to in the previous video, there's people who are just they 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 can't get far enough away from the truth for comfort at all. And let me give you an example. Like I said, this is the world capital of diabetes. All right. Uh, I only knew two of my grandparents. This was the ones on my mom's side. My grandma, she actually died when I was very, very young. And we were pretty damn close, man. She used to be my daycare provider and all that. And then I have a grandfather, and he died when I was pretty young, shortly after my grandma died. Now, he died of complications from diabetes. Now, that was my first taste of diabetes. I'm going to tell you, just from what I learned there and then what I learned later as I observed more and more and more and more and more diabetes. Like I said, I'm living in the world capital of it. What I experienced was a lot of the different details that most people don't know about. Let me just sum it up as it is not fun. There is nothing fun about it. In fact, it seems to be very painful, a very arduous and traumatic experience. All right, diabetes is not fun. When you see someone get diabetes and see what they had to go through, what would be the logical step for you to take is to do anything that it takes to not get what they had. All right, to not say get your legs chopped off, to not get all sorts of you had to get dialysis once every couple of days type stuff. You don't want to do that. All right, uh, but some people's fear of the truth goes past their fear of the painful, arduous experience of dealing with diabetes. And a very good example of that is I have an aunt right now who has diabetes. She has mad diabetes, all right? Mad diabetes. This lady, I don't know very much about her, but I do know certain tidbits. Like one, she never knew how to cook. She has no clue how to cook, all right? And so you can just imagine that a person who doesn't know how to cook at all, they're not going to have any clue, not one bit of clue as to what it is they're eating. They probably won't care. And this is what I just have to infer: the fact that she has diabetes and she doesn't know how to cook. That would insinuate that she probably has not one single clue as to what's in her food or how her food's prepared. Nothing, none of that, none of that. And the thing is, like I said, I'm not like a genius. I'm certainly not a fortune teller. I can't see the future, but the thing is, I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people don't want to like say her husband, her children, the rest of her family. They're not gonna admit it right now, but let me tell you right now, there's not gonna be a cure. No one's gonna find a cure for her. She's not gonna get cured. All right, period. It's not gonna happen. What's gonna happen is that she's gonna die a very slow and painful death. And when I say slow and painful, I mean for her husband and her family members and all that. It's going to be slow and painful for everybody. And I don't want to mean to dampen your mood right now, but this is exactly what's going to be regardless, period. That's the truth of the matter. Now, if she's going to run away from that, she'd never want to hear that, but that's what she should be expecting. Either, I mean, if I were her, I would be hoping for a quick, painless death in my sleep. To be honest with you, because I mean, that would be scores and scores better than the death that she's asking for. All right, and the reason for this is she is so afraid of the truth and knowing the truth. She thinks that knowledge and truth and information is bad for you, and somehow that's going to hurt you. And meanwhile, diabetes is going to wreck your goddamn life and everybody's life around you. And so when I offer you what I'm saying is the truth, feel free to research it, cross-reference it, to don't take my word necessarily for it, but I'm not telling it to you for no reason. I'm not telling it to you to benefit from it somehow. I'm not telling it to manipulate you somehow. Trust me, I'm not getting anything from this. But I'm here to offer help because you've asked for help. All right, that's the first part of it. And the second part of it goes into this. She never learned how to cook. Now her husband loves her and will love her till the end. Of that I'm sure. That's pretty cool. He's a pretty good dude. I've always liked him. But here's the kicker. If you're a lady, I'm gonna give you a tip. And most men aren't gonna tell you this. You know what I'm saying? Your boyfriends or whatever you want to call them, your future husbands are not gonna come out and tell you this because they're too scared. So I'm gonna come out and tell you this. If you're a lady and you want to keep a man, you seriously want to keep a man, you need to learn how to cook. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry if that sounds sexist or whatever. I mean, there's a whole big feminist movement out there that says you don't need to cook. What are you doing in the kitchen? You need to get up out of the kitchen. You need to get a job and stuff and all that sort of stuff. Now I'm gonna have a video that's gonna detail the world of feminism and how that's basically your enemy. You couldn't have a bigger enemy than feminism. I'm gonna tell you that right now, and I'm gonna make a whole video in and of itself about that. But let's forget about that for right now. They're trying to say, "Oh man, it's sexist to want you up in a kitchen or whatever and doing cooking and stuff." Let me tell you something. There's nothing sexier in the world. I mean, there's hardly anything to a real man than a woman who can cook, can cook a meal like talking about cook a different meal every single day if she wanted to, of the week. I mean, even if they don't mention it, that is an attribute that will make you a keeper. That will make you, especially in today's world, because you know what I'm saying. 9 out of 10 women, period. That's pretty good guess. Um, don't know how to cook. Have no idea. Don't know what the hell they're doing in the damn kitchen. And the thing is, man, back in the day when it was expected of every single woman, it was a lot harder. It was so much harder to cook. I mean, with the technology that we have today, as far as the stove tops and the different technology, you probably should stay away from the microwave, to be honest with you, because that's not impressive at all. And honestly, I don't ever use a microwave, but um, the technology that we have today, as far as dishwashers and stuff, it is a lot easier. It is a lot easier to cook. It's like a damn breeze when you compare it to back in the day. All right, so if you happen to have listened to feminists, you know, and you think that somehow it's oppressive for you to go in the kitchen and cook stuff, and that's the last thing you want to do. Yeah, you're so lost right now. You want to keep a man? Last thing you're gonna want to do is listen to a feminist. They're gonna sabotage the shit out of you. But like I said, I'm gonna make a whole different video on that. You're gonna want to get in the kitchen, and this might You might feel daunted by this. You might feel like, oh, wow, I never learned how to do. I can only do a few meals in the kitchen. Let me tell you something. I've known how to cook since I was little. I'm not even a girl, to be honest with you. But I've known how to do it. And let me tell you something. I work in food service. It's not a very good industry, but it's fucking easy to cook. It's really goddamn easy. And the thing is, you go on YouTube and you know how to read and follow directions, you're gonna have to you're gonna learn how to cook real easily. It's not gonna be hard. Take it step by step, learn meal by meal, and before long you're gonna know how to just I mean if you can cook 10 meals, forget it. I mean you could fake everything else. You have it made if you can cook 10 meals. Alright? You need to do this and you need to make it a habit of doing this. Now the reason for this here's a phrase that I didn't make up, believe it or not. This is a phrase way before I was born. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And now that's not all encompassing, but let me tell you something, that's pretty damn real. All right, you're gonna find a man not wanting to go out so much with his homies to hang out if he knows that you're cooking and that you know how to cook something really good, and he knows that he's gonna blow off his friends. It's just gonna happen because he wants to eat something good. He wants to know that he can come home and that's gonna be there. Now, a lot of ladies have careers and they think, oh man, my career is more important than being able to do this. That's a decision that you're gonna make, I guess. But the thing is, man, you probably want to fit in both. If you're really talking about keeping a man, and yeah, I mean, like you're gonna think, well, that's pretty sexist. How come I have to make the meals and stuff? He's not offering to make the meals and stuff. Realize that it's embedded in your DNA. It's embedded in his DNA. Traditionally speaking, throughout hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of generations, women have been the one cooking the meals. Men have been the one going off into mines and doing all sorts of crazy, dangerous shit, trying to like kill big bulls and shit like that to bring it back home. That was their role. The role of the lady was to be in the house and to create a homestead, which is not uh, any way like non-important. It's very important, and they were the ones who had to cook stuff. Right, so it is embedded in the DNA, and not only that, you might think, oh, it's sexist or whatever. I gotta do all this stuff. He's not gonna do all this stuff, and like what? He just thinks he's gonna be served like king. I mean, the thing is, like I said, it's instinctual. It's embedded in the DNA. Not only is the man impressed, not only does he feel great comfort by the fact that you can make stuff right there, not only in the back of his subconscious is he thinking, damn, this is saving money too, because I don't have to take you out all the damn time. I mean, and we don't have to go out all the time and spend all this money. I mean, trust me, the economy is going to fall real quickly. I'm sure you might have seen other videos where I'm covering that. But not only that, it's instinctual. If a man sees that you know how to cook and cook for him, in the back of his mind, even if he's not thinking about it subconsciously, he knows that you can cook for his children. He knows that you can provide nutrition for his children. And that right there is going to make you a damn keeper. All right, so you need to think about that. That's just one part. I'm going to keep it going, but that's something to think about. You might want to think about that right quick. Anyways, it's July 21st. It's 2015. And, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll holler at you.